G'day, punters. Welcome to another edition of the Mailbag Preview Show. Got the same band back together, Shane and Lindsay, after shooting the lights out last week. So before we kick off, guys, make sure you like the show, subscribe. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I think since I've been doing the preview show, we found you plenty of winners, so please like and subscribe. But I'll throw it to you guys. Shane, how's your week been? You're off the deathbed to join us this morning.
Yeah, horrific week. I've been really crook. I've got the immune system of a soft shell crab.
I was thinking 2 weeks ago you were in the same position when Lindsay and I were on.
I know. I turned 45 in 10 days' time, so that might have something to do with it. I don't know, but I've had a horrid run this year with illness. I don't know whether I'm not drinking enough, not partying enough.
I think, well, look, there's a bit of a correlation there, isn't it? You've cut back on the partying, the drinking, and you're getting more sick. So, look, reading between the lines.
Drinking green juice during a preview show. Like, normally I'd be having a goat right now doing the preview show at this time of day, but
I think there were a few cheat days in there, though, Shane.
Couple of cheat days. Anyway, apart from the illness, everything's going good. The team's airborne on the punt. We had a good winning day yesterday, and Ipswich was called off, so I just laid on the couch in bed. It was great. And just to echo your comments there on the opening comments about subscribing to this show, like if you don't like free money, don't subscribe. If you do enjoy winning on the punt and the feeling of collecting, subscribe to the show. Old mate Lindsay, he's declared Giga Kick, and all it did was drift all day and got out to some ridiculous price. Declared it on the show and pissed him. Well done, Lindsay.
Lindsay's declared Giga Kick. I think his words were best of the weekend. Shane's triple scoop ice cream, whatever the fuck that is, that gets up 2 weeks in a row for us. So
you too. Yeah.
Get around us. Lindsay, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Just another week, really. I didn't mean an arrogant sense. Sorry, I was just saying, it's just another week for me.
There's another moral wins,
No.
Week.
Not on the punt wise. Just another week for me. No real standouts this week. Working, that type of stuff. But yeah, anyway, looking forward to Saturday, to be honest.
Beauty. We'll get stuck in. First segment brought to us via the Mailbag Bloodstock. Got a few runners coming up in the next few days, but we've got a couple to sell. We've got 2.5% left in Atlantic Way. I think up on the screen first, we've got the Autumn Sun filly there, trained by Annabelle Neesham. Shane, what's she like?
Had its third ride at the Breakers on Monday. I haven't got any vision of that because his wife gave birth that day, I think. So he was going to get some videos and photos, but they had a baby instead. So it's sort of fair enough. Congratulations.
We'll let him off this time.
Yeah, congratulations to the Kate Wells there. But obviously, she's a well-bred filly, and she's going to one of Australia's leading stables in the strike rate in Queensland. I think Neesham stable's brilliant, and also, if she can measure up to Sydney, she's got the ability to go down there as well. So, she's got nice Japanese bloodlines, and she doesn't have to be a superstar to hold her value as a mare down the track. So she'll get every chance. She's at the right place. So fingers crossed.
Perfect. As always, guys, get in touch with Jono at themailbag.com.au, Jono. So we've got the Autumn Sun filly there. Also got 2.5% left in Atlantic Way with Gavin Edgegood, who I think every week we talk on the show that he's airborne and he keeps finding winners in between shows.
He does, and it's like $362. So if you watched the show last week and had the triple scoop, or you're on Giga Kick, email Jono, which is Jono. We won't have to say that eventually when we're big enough. Email Jono at themailbag.com.au, Jono, and just ask for a couple of Gavin's reports.
Yeah,
that's all you need, and then you'll go in. He's keen.
And look, hopefully we kick off the partnership with Gavin with our first runner on Sunday at Sale, I believe. Shane, Field of Roses running around for Gavin.
Yeah. So as we record this at 11:15, Jono sent a message through saying it drew 20 of 20 on Sunday. So I don't know. I don't really know Victorian racing, but it is winter and it is sale, so you probably want to be outside fence. I don't know, but I'll leave that to the experts.
Anyway, guys, as always, get in touch with Jono there. If you just any questions you've got about any of the horses that you've seen pop up on the social channels, get in touch with Jono, ask him a few questions. And, if you have backed the winner with us over the last few weeks, get involved. It's not too expensive. All right, we'll get stuck into Saturday's racing. We've got a few to preview. Just at Caulfield this weekend, I believe, the big wet again up Shane's sort of way. So we're steering clear early up in Queensland. But I will say, I think a few weeks ago when Shane and I were just on and we did the Melbourne preview and it was wet up in Queensland, Shane shot the lights out on the Saturday up there. So all important, sign up to Shane's pack on Saturday with the big wet. But we'll get stuck in to Caulfield. I believe the 2-year-old king himself, Lindsay's going to preview race 1 for us.
Definitely not the king. Okay, yep. So anyway, we'll move on. Race 1, River Ribble. I've found 2 chances here. River Ribble. John McNeil 6 after winning first up at Cranbourne. Didn't break the maiden class figure here as we roll the replay, but it won pretty effortlessly here. Exonumia has run second or third here. I think it's third. And that boasts some okay form around it. It maps to have an advantage on speed again on Saturday at Caulfield. And it looks to have every chance to win again. There it is there. Streak's clear there. Nothing really chasing it. I think the stable thinks it's Guinea's horse. So keep that in mind with, bigger targets down the road and staying at at a shorter trip here. But the one early I'm looking at is Chester Warrior for Hayes and Stackhouse. It's open $8 out to 12. We're seeing its latest jump out here at Flemington. And these Flemington jump outs, it's hard to sit wide and kind of make ground and look good. And it does that here. It does exactly that. The jump out form around it's been weak. It's had 3. But the way it travels and moves, I really, really like it. Its first jump out, it went par with Chopin, who's, I think, an $8 chance in this race. It was caught wide, given a slap along here. So it was caught wide the whole way. It's given a slap along on the corner here. This is the first time ever off the leash. And has put a good gap on him here. The thing in the orange is a Hawk's horse who has jumped out very well against a hard-held Cannonball for Chris Waller, who's won 2 city races in Melbourne already on Saturday. And it was 1 length off Sujardin on debut. So I think that jump out form's okay. Even though Keysborough was hard-held out the Hawk's horse, it really did put a space in him there, and it's it just quickened very nicely. And there was a Nick Ryan thing chasing, not making much ground, hard ridden. So I at $12 I can spec that early. And the thing is too, a bit of breeding here. It's a half to Turk Warrior, who was a champion 2-year-old in Tasmania, won the Tasmanian Magic Millions 2 by 3.5 lengths at $1.07. I think Curly had his second holiday home on it that day at $1.07. I'm just impressed by its trials there, and at $12 I can spec it. The knocks are it's likely midfield at worst in the run. It's drawn inside. It's drawn 2, I think. So it's never been on the inside of horses because it's always tracked wide in those jump outs. But I'm happy to spec it at the price at $12 now. River Ribble, it's $4.80 into $3.70 already. Deserved favourite, I'd say, but at the price, I'm happy to just let it go now. And especially with the volatile markets in these 2-year-old races lately, as we said, Giga kicks evens out to $3.90, $4 a fare last week. So, but I'd half stake Chester Warrior now, half stake it on Saturday. And if you can River Ribble too, half stake now, half stake at BSP. I find that's working lately.
And what about Thronbone there, Lindsay, I think you tipped us all into that a couple of starts back at 30s, and it's gone 2 on the trot at the 440. How are you sort of seeing that?
Yeah, so it's the one that's done it. It's proven. There's mixed form out of both wins. Hoofs Don't Lie ran on well, a bit unlucky against it. Ran on well at Caulfield against it last time, and then's been beaten comfortably by Giga Kick at the latest. And just the form has been a bit meh. That Gennady form, I don't know, it's not really stacking up too well. And it's the one that's done it though. It's got to lump the weight, and it will get back likely too. So yeah, I'm happy to risk it at the price, but it's the one that's done it. So I don't know, it's up to you. But Hafey's the one that I'm happy to take on. The jump outs didn't impress me that much. They were good. They didn't impress me too much, and I just want to see it first before taking the price. But yeah, with Chester Warrior, I'm happy to have the gamble.
Nice gamble to play at the double figure odds. We'll move on from race 1 and move over to the 1400 metre contest in race 2.
Okay, here we go. Berkeley Square, I think, is a serious horse. For Dan O'Sullivan, Alana Kelly rides. She rode it here in the replay I was seeing at Geelong. So it was wide with cover at the rear here. It's in the lime type of colours in the green. So it's come to the outside here. It's a big horse you can see in this replay. And that's pretty rare for the Territories progeny, I've heard. So that's another tick. So they've gone out even to a little bit quick and come home very quick. So 1.9 lengths quick to the 6 and then 5.9 home quick relative to the class. So that's 8 lengths relative to the class that it's run faster there. And we love those horses that smash the class benchmark, especially in maiden grade, because they can go step up in grade to a 64 or a 70, and they can perform. And then from 70, if they break it there, they can go to town or whatever. But yeah, just breaking maiden grade like that, it's great. I love to see it. Fastest last 4 to 2 split of the day, and second fastest 2 to the post. And its last 200 metres was the best bit of its work, 4.7 lengths quicker than the average last 200 metres for the class. Alana Kelly was soft late there in that replay too. This horse is a half to Senor Toba, who is it performed well in derbies. Not last season, the season before, I believe, and then went to Hong Kong.
Yep, sold Toronado sold to Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So it's out of a mare called Bahamas, who was a very well-credentialed horse. I think in Adelaide, it's run well in the Adelaide Guineas or something like that, over 2,000 metres. So I think there's a lot in store for this horse's prep. Like, I think it's a serious horse, and it will, it's a group horse. Straight away, I can say that. But there's bigger fish to fry, I'd say, whether it be a Guineas or a Derby or a 2,000 metre race on Cup Day or something like that. But I think it's a really quality horse, and I think it can win here, and it will definitely run a strong 14, as you saw from that replay there. Compared to some others here, the 2 other market elects who are a query, I'd say. The knocks are it could get buried back from the inside gate. That's bad because it's a big lump of a thing on the inside of horses, and there it was on the outside on debut. So yeah, the inside gate, and like I said, big prep ahead, Guineas, Derby, I'd say, to be right in those races. So yeah, they're the knocks. Manhattan Thunder, the Sads and D Lane was hugely impressive on debut. From the shoot start at Sale, Jackson. I was talking to Jackson about this horse, and he said it was a top performance. He doesn't see that too often. The performance was just shy of 5 lengths quicker relative to the class. Fastest last 4 to 2 and the 5th fastest 2 to the post of the meeting. I think it's very good form out of Miss Sudley, the horse it runs down here. They gap third. Miss Sudley trialled well. Whiskey Hangover ran home into third there. It looks a proper horse when it gets to a mile. And Satin Love and It's My Turn had solid form going in there, and it's gapped them with no favours too from that wide draw. 1,100 to 1,400 slight knock here, and 1,400 a slight query for me. So I'm happy to risk. And Boogie Dancer, I text Shane yesterday before the price went up, and I said, yep, they'll go up too short this thing, and they've gone up evens, which is just unbelievable to me. I think it gets all favours with a map, but I'm happy to risk out to 1400. I think it overachieved last start in the wet, even though it was held up for a few strides. And that win didn't rate too well, and I don't trust the form, and I can't get anywhere near it at evens. I think it's more like a $3 chance, $3.50 chance. Manhattan Thunder probably the right price now, but I thought it and Berkeley would be a lot closer together than they are. So Berkeley Square at $8.50. I love it. I've had a bet already, and I'll half stake the other at starting price.
Beauty. So for something like that, in eight, do you play like a 1x3, 1x4 there, Lindsay, or you're just happy to back that straight out? And by the sounds of what you're talking about, you're probably laying Boogie Dancer there at the price as well, aren't you?
I'm not sure about laying, because especially with this track, Boogie Dancer could just go straight to lead with Carr on a leader at Caulfield. It's just, it's not like a lay to me, but especially I don't know how the track's going to play yet. But yeah, I'm 100% happy to take it on. Absolutely, it's way too short at the price, and with Berkeley Square, I'm happy to just play the nose. I think it's got a big prep ahead, so I don't want to be launching 1x3 when I can just have something in the nose and hopefully get a result. But I think it'll be the best horse out of the race going forward, and I think it'll be a player in the spring.
There's a key element to that, I think, and that's probably the mounting yard from Jackson. That'll be the final tick there. If it gets to the race, if Berkeley Square gets to the races, with a heap of improvement to come, well, that it's looking for that, some bigger
exactly.
targets in the back.
Yeah, I was talking to a mate from my actual workplace who used to work for Dan O'Sullivan, and he said, he loved that mare Bahamas, and kicking off 1400 here, you'd think it'd be a Derby prep, not a Guineas prep or something like that. So is it really wound up here, ready to win at 1400 in July? But I think if it does, if not now, it'll win a races prep and a good race, I think.
Nice, and like Shane said, that sort of mounting yard is that final piece of the puzzle, especially this time of the year with those better horses coming back. It's good to see how they actually presented first up. And young Jackson has turned his form around and been airborne this month. I think 40-plus units up for the month of July. So I think we're still running the Jacko 50, so JACKO 50, for any first-timers to get 50% off Jacko's package on Saturday. So he's having a massive, massive July, punters. Get around at Jacko 50 and get yourself a little discount and see how he goes on Saturday. Thanks, Lindsay. That's race 2. Now I think we'll just do a bit of a preview of the big one of the day, the Bletchingley Stakes, the Group 3 over 1,200 metres. I think we see a few of them running around again from a couple of weeks ago.
So feature race of the day, Lever. They mostly come through the same form. Believer comes through the race with Oxley Road. Oxley Road, who was the other one? Asar was there too. Believer's won. I think it's overachieved. It backed up some really good trials there, but I think it's overachieved. And from the gate, Shane, I think we were happy to take it on.
Well, comes through a perfect run last start. Did no work. Right part of the track, etc. Well, where's it map here? Like wide but I suppose it is Caulfield, so who knows? Let's have a look at the map here. It's going to be what cast, basically, we're saying. I don't want to make it too complicated.
What do we make of the Queensland horse here? It's the one with a different form. Ollie hops on, pricks the ears a bit.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Like, it's hard because what do you take out of the race? I mean, we penned every horse out of this race last time, and we made Oxley Road a bet. It's basically the same. It's a very similar race. So what do we do? Like, what are we doing with Oxley Road? Like, Sartorial Splendor was part of the triple scoop, backing into place.
It's the map favours again. I mean, we spoke about it last time. It's just one of those horses that puts himself on speed, which is always a good place to be at Caulfield.
I don't know how you could possibly, like, unless you like a search and SP profile on Pornhub, you love it that much. How could you be on Oxley Road for any other reason than SP profile off its last start?
So a question for you two. Are you guys, with your punting, do you, obviously we were pretty keen on Oxley Road before that last start. Are you guys, do you tend to incline to say, all right, let's just pen that run and I'll give him another chance, or at the price, it's not really worth it?
I think it's all price. I find it difficult to engage too much in the SP profile discussion, purely because of where I bet, and the majority of my stuff's in, provincial Queensland, and you win them. It's just, I just feel like it's different. I think this is a different conversation because it's a very similar race. So does that make sense? What I'm trying to say there?
Just knowing, doing form in Melbourne for a while, I think Oxley Road, as I'm pretty sure it's still a cult, right? I think it's a fall to exceedance, is it not? And if it's ready to win, it would have been wound up and it would have just won first up. Out of its form, out of Group 1 races, last preparation, it would be there and it would be there to win. And its trials were okay heading into that too, but they didn't jump out at you and say, back me first up. I'm here to win because I'm getting a spot on the roster somewhere. Just getting another black type win. And then Ciurleo Splendors, I think it's a more seasoned horse now, and it's stepping out to 1200. Like if you told me I'd be back in Ciurleo Splendor in a Bletchingley, I would, 2 years ago, I'd be like, no way. I think it's just 1,000 meters only, but it's showing now that it can stretch out against D Lane. Good map on speed. I think that's the one I'd be looking at.
So what about William Thomas? I think he did what William Thomas does last start, doesn't he? Runs home, runs, one of the fastest last 2/4s of the day meeting, etc. But he sort of does that a lot and sucks people in, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Ben Mellum pops on. He came back a winner on Wednesday, so I'm not sure. It's not a race I'll be betting in.
Ben Mellum,
for sure. It'd be good watch.
I read an article of how Ben was saying how hard he'd been working in the off season.
Yeah, he was training.
Looked like he was on a European summer holiday to me.
Obviously, working hard.
I think where he's gone wrong though is he hasn't posted his gym workouts like those Sydney jockeys do.
Yeah, they love it. Those Sydney jockeys love that.
They love it.
Oh.
Hey,
just on the balance boards and shit.
Yeah. Punters are athletes too. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if Scalapini blew these away. These are B graders, these horses, and Scalapini has been running really well, but he's just got this when he was in Queensland, Count the Rupee, Apache Chase, they'd be hard in the market in this sort of race, those horses. I've got no doubt about that. He couldn't have gone much better than what he did. Obviously, the prep where you step him out to a mile and, he's ran okay. He never really runs a bad race, to be honest, this horse. And he's definitely stepped up to the top level in Queensland. As I said, he wasn't far off in Group 2 and Group 1 company. 42 days, has trialled at Deegan and then travelled down. So, he wouldn't be going around a loser for me at that price.
Gets Ollie on.
They're not are they borderline Group 3 horses? These horses, good open company sprinters. Streets of Avalon's probably been there and done it. Has it passed its best? I don't know. Obviously, it's ran well its last couple.
It didn't trial very good. I mean, did you see that trial, Lindsay, of Streets of Avalon? It didn't look like he.
Well, they'd be too sharp for it at 1,200 as well.
Well, the thing is, doing Vic Form for a while, everyone just writes the Streets of Avalon, too old. It's come out, last prep, and it's still performed at the highest level. It's run second at Ayrton. It's run huge races. All-Star Mile. I'm third in the All-Star Mile. Sharp at 1,200 meters, but
sharp for him.
But I think back to your point, Shane, some of these this is sort of the payday for some of these horses. These Group 3 before the better horses come back for the spring. Like Oxley Road, we thought he was going to be up and about because that was his chance to win a good race this spring before the better horses come back. So no bet from you, Lindsay, in this race, just sort of shouldering arms.
Yeah, throw to the keeper.
Shane, anything from you?
Well, I'm not being parochial here, but like I would have some. I'll be having something on Scalapini.
All right, Lindsay's got to leave. He's off to his actual real work. Thanks for today, Lindsay. Just wrapping up your bet. So in race one, what do we have race one there at Caulfield?
Oh, what do we have race on? Sorry, my bad.
Chester Warrior at the 12-13s.
Yeah, I'll be back in Chester Warrior. I've half staked at 12s, and I've half staked. I will half stake at starting price. River Ribble. I may play late, but I'm happy to risk now at the price into 370. But it will get all favours. And then race two, Berkeley Square. If not on Saturday, follow that horse. I think it's a serious animal. But yeah, I've taken some 850. And then I'll half stake at BSP. Manhattan Thunder, the biggest danger. I'm happy to take on Boogie Dancer.
Perfect. Thanks, Lindsay. We will catch you next week. Shane and I will wrap up the show. Shane, anything from you? I know that the old Mr. Whippy ice cream scoop is becoming quite famous. You've nailed it 2 weeks in a row. What have you got for the punters this weekend?
Yeah, well, I was sort of looking for a bit of a lead from Lindsay. I don't disagree with him in race one. I didn't mind Chester Warrior. I like those jump outs where they get let off the leash to see what's under the hood, as opposed to these ones where they're styling up and you don't know what's left. This horse can dash. Let's just take it a place, Chester Warrior, in a bit of an all-up. We'll take it a place into Scalapini winning place.
Okay, perfect. So we're getting around the $3.10, $3.20, depends where you shop the place, and then Scalapini's 10. So we're getting sort of, what do we got the place for Scalapini at the moment?
Roughly the same.
So we're getting about $30 for the place win double and $9 for the place double there on Saturday at Caulfield.
I think I'm going to have something on Scalapini anyway at the price for sure.
Yeah. And I think, look, like we spoke about earlier, this time of the year, Jacko is in form. He's hit a nice purple patch, so sign up to his service there at the mailbag.com.au. And also for Shane's product, obviously we've taken a bit of a wide berth this weekend to preview anything early, just not knowing how tracks are coming up. And,
it's going to be it's a matter of how wet. It's betting late will be the key Saturday. We've got plenty of meetings to bet on, so we sort of did that a little bit last week. I only liked a few races at Eagle Farm, so I just sent to the subs, I'm going to swerve them because I like a few races at Gympie and Gold Coast. And we ended up back in 4 winners in a row out wide, and I just gave Eagle Farm the arse. So there might be a bit of that Saturday with the weather being the way it is.
And our mailbag group chat, the group chat on the app, everyone was loving those Gympie winners. I don't think any of us south of the border don't know where it is, but like they say, they pay the same. It doesn't matter where they race. All righty, so that's it, guys. Good luck on the punt this weekend. As always, we're powered by puntingform.com.au. If you've got any inquiries about any of the horses that we're currently selling, or just any questions about Bloodstock that you'd like to know or ask, Jono, Jono at themailbag.com.au. Any last words, Shane?
No, just like Jackson's on fire. Got to get his stuff.
No, exactly.
That's the best bet for the week. He's on fire.
If you haven't signed up before, Jacko 50, get yourself a 50% discount. So you're winning before you even start. All right, punters, good luck on the weekend. We'll see you next week.